Okay. I want to just capture this insight, okay? You know what you know, and you know who you are at this very moment. You know what your past is, you know what your present is, and maybe you even know what your future is based on what your past decisions are and how those decisions that you made in the past are going to affect you going forward into your future. And so you have this comfort level, this like, I know who I am and I know what I know, and this is my territory and this is where I live, and I know these things about this area, and I know how to navigate this area, and this is what I know, and it's comfortable, okay? But then when you choose to go somewhere different, and in van life, this is definitely what you're practicing. You're choosing to go somewhere new. You're choosing to not know. You're choosing to walk into the question mark. You're choosing to, explore unknown territories. You are choosing to not know, and you're choosing to surrender that the God of the universe is going to provide. He's going to lead you where he needs you to be. He's going to get to you to understand certain wisdom and understanding that you don't know until you know from experience it and being it in this moment. And so when you are out as an adventurer, when you are out as a van life person, you are lost sometimes. Technically, meaning like you don't know the landscape, you don't know the culture, you don't know the people, you don't know where the laundromat is, you don't know where the grocery store is until you find it, right? And then when you find it, you're like learning that culture, you're learning that little area, you're learning about that community, you're learning about what's available in that area, and you are becoming and learning and growing and expanding yourself in that moment of where you are in that moment. And when you were in your familiarity, your comfort zone, when you're in your house, your sticks and bricks, your community, where you grew up, your family's there, your friends are there, where you went to school, where you, whatever, like your whole life has been organized, and it's a process and it's a routine, and you've been doing it over and over and over again. And there gets to be a point where you can even say you come to a place of boredom. Okay. And so it's like, you know what you know, you're comfortable with what you know, and there's like this just routine of like, you're just, you're comfortable. It actually gets to a point where it even might be boredom, okay? And because you know all these things, and it's like you've done this so many times, and so there gets to be a level of like, sometimes people would say it's comfort because you have this level of peace or ease because you have this knowing and this comfort. But then there's the other side of it where you could say, well, there's boredom because there's not much excitement, because everything is routine, and there isn't like that sparkle of like, oh wow, this is really a cool thing, I didn't notice that before, because you're just like in this like kind of like a ingrained routine, okay? But as an adventurer, as a van life person, it's like you go out, okay, and you are exploring. You are walking into the unknown. You don't know the territory, you don't know the community, you don't know the weather conditions, you don't know whether or not that store is going to be open or closed. Like, you get to your, this certain area, maybe the park is closed and you don't get your campsite, and so you have to like on the fly figure it out, adapt. You are pushed, you are pressured sometimes to explore new options, to think new creative ideas, to make do with what you have, to think of a different creative solution. And sometimes in van life, it's just because you're walking in the forest and you're seeing this new place, it's just like you're just in the awe and the beauty of nature, the beauty of God, the beauty of God's magnificence. And it's like you're like, wow, like this is just so amazing. The stars are so amazing in this place, the mountains are so amazing in this place, the seashells on the beach are so amazing in this place. Like, you just get pulled to this, like, I'm just me, but yeah, like there's something way beyond me that is so much more magnificent and powerful, and it puts you at peace, it puts you at ease. But at the same time, it challenges you. It challenges your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions, your will, everything gets challenged in van life because nothing is constant. You may establish certain little routines, like you wake up and you make your coffee and you make your bed and you put things in order in lockdown when you're getting ready to drive. Those things might be a routine, but they're still going to change in a van versus when you're in a sticks and bricks house. Because when you're in a sticks and bricks house, all those things aren't moving around all the time. Like your coffee pot is on the counter and it stays there. You don't need to, put bungee cords around it, every time. You know what I mean? Like there really is a different mindset between being stationary and grounded and then being nomadic and on the move and being mobile, and what that means, and having to lock things down and then set things up and then take things apart and then lock things down. There's like this procedure, there's this process where you don't get a lot of that when you're in a house. You're just like going through the motions, and you're like, okay, I'm turning the coffee pot on. Okay, I'm opening the fridge and this is all like here. But then when you're in the van, it's like sometimes there becomes an obstacle in your path and you have to, figure out in the moment how to solve that problem. And those critical skills that you learn while you're in van life help you to become stronger. It expands your awareness, it expands your skill set, it expands your idea of like when you're waking up with the sunset, when you are waking up with the rhythms, and your circadian rhythm is different in a van because you're more attuned to nature and around what's around you. But when you're in a house, like you could have all these things that block you off from even having to leave your house. Like you have all these comforts around you, and you could just not even know that it was sunny outside or rainy outside because you're not a part of it. But when you're in a van, it's like you're forced to like be witness to everything, and you're forced to have conversations with people that you might not necessarily have conversations with if you're in your perfect little utopia and you have your perfect little neighbors and you have this perfect little routine of what you're used to. But when you're in van life, sometimes you ask for help, and sometimes you give to someone that needs something, and sometimes you're in the right place at the right time to give that word of comfort and to share a word of wisdom with someone that's struggling, that's in a place where you used to be but you're no longer there. And I'm not saying that you don't do that in your sticks and bricks as well. I'm saying that it's different because the mentalities of both of those versions of you are very different versions of you. One, as a comfortable person that's stuck in a routine, you could even say that they might be bored from the negative perspective. And someone in van life might say, you might say that they're more of an explorer, and they have more resilience and maybe more creativity because of what van life and all the things of van life challenge your mindset to do in a day-to-day basis. Yes, there are routines, but the routines are still a little bit different in every situation and every environment. Whereas when you're at home, when you go to the bathroom and you flush the toilet, like you're not dealing with your waste really. I mean, but when you're in van life, you're like, okay, well now I have this waste and I need to deal with it, and I'm going to bag it up and I'm going to put it in this trash can, or I'm going to dig a hole and I'm going to put, it's like you have a different connection. Like it's like the dots are connected more directly in van life, whereas sometimes you're kind of removed from it, from the luxury side of living in a home. And when you see the balance of it, it just brings you into more understanding and more comprehensive awareness of like some of the benefits of being stationary and like having a solid place and having roots. But then when you're on the road and you're nomadic, there's something beautiful about going with the flow, about going at a slower pace, about not being constrained by the stress of what some of the normal mainstream expectations are for owning this and this and this and this in the sticks and bricks model. But when you're in van life, there's this silent appreciation for like just a sunrise and a sunset, and looking at a frog, and seeing a butterfly, and looking at the ocean, looking at the mountains, and having a quiet read and reading a book, like an actual book, paper to paper, and writing in a journal. Like, those things slow you down and somehow make you more connected with our Father. And yet at the same time, like, when you are sometimes just in the luxury or the like 9 to 5, and you're just like going, doing, buying, consumerism, and then your escapism because you're watching all these shows and scrolling, media. But then it's like, when you're in the van, I'm not saying that I don't do any scrolling or I don't watch any movies. I do, but it's way less. The volume is so much less because I'm focused on, taking me and spreading me out and experiencing myself in different situations outside of myself. Whereas when I'm at home in my sticks and bricks, it's like, it's all about like my cocoon, and like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, there is a difference between who I am when I'm at home and then who I am when I'm on the go and being nomadic. So it's just something to ponder about, like, allowing yourself to be lost as a nomad. Like, because in the being lost, it's like you're admitting that that there might be some other better way of looking at things, and that you are more, I don't know, I think you're more apt to have a more direct connection with God in a, because of the simplicity of van life, because of the simplicity of nomadic life, because of the simplicity of like monitoring your resources and being mindful of how much water you use, and being mindful of, clearing up your mess after you, the leave no trace, like all of those things, you're just much more in tune. Whereas when you're in a sticks and bricks home, sometimes you just take those things for granted, and you just don't realize how much you consume with water. You don't realize, how many, garbage cans of waste you're putting out. But there really is a different imprint when you're in a home and then when you're in a van. It really is like night and day. The other thing about like sleeping that I've noticed is that, when I'm at home in my home, it's like, yes, I have a nice bedroom, a cushiony bed, and I have several rooms that, I do this in the kitchen, I do this in the living room, I do this in my project room, I do this in my bedroom, right? And I do this in my bathroom, and I have all these rooms. But when all of that is contained in the van, and, everything is simple, and it's more accessible because, you want to grab it quickly. There's a different level of like appreciation, because things can get lost in a house. You can like not even realize what you have. But then in a van, it's like, real estate is precious, and, all the stuff that you're carrying with you, you want to be mindful that, like, do you use this? Is this a functional, practical tool that you're using? Because if it isn't, give it away and get it out of your space and let it go. But if it is practical, then definitely you want to hold on to it. And when you're at home though, when you have all this extra square footage, it's like things can pile up and you don't even realize you have doubles and triples of the same thing, because you forgot you put it in this closet, and you forgot you had it in this room, and wow, you didn't realize what was in the attic was in the basement. You know what I mean? You can have like multiplicities of things and not even realize it because you have so much. But then when you are confined to a certain amount of space, and only so many things can fit in that space, only so much clothing, only so much, furniture, only so much food, you're more conscious of what you have, how you're consuming it, how you're sharing it, how you're giving it, it's just a different thing. And you're not bringing in and consuming as much stuff in a van because you don't have the space to house it. But when you're in a house, it's like this consumerism thing, like, it's a cool thing, let's go to the mall, hey, I just really want to just see what's out there. There's more of that mindset to buy when you're in a home, because you have other rooms that you can stockpile stuff.